Hello, everyone, and welcome to Body Bags. I will be your reviewer for today. I am Sinema77, horror and cult film lover, and today I'm going to talk about a very interesting movie, to say the least. This movie comes from the Media Blaster Shriek Show label, and it is Ray Dennis Steckler's Blood Shack. Now, this movie here, this is one of those kind of movies where, honestly, this the storyline sounds far more interesting than the actual execution of the movie, because the storyline goes like this. You have this old broken down house shack that's in the middle of the desert, the middle of nowhere and everything. I believe it's in like near Las Vegas, Nevada. And this shack is supposedly haunted by the spirit of an Indian chief who was double crossed and murdered many, many years ago. And the story goes that anybody that enters into this shack will meet a horrible, gruesome death at the hands of this, Indian demon. Sounds like a great idea for a story, doesn't it? And, you see this, you're like, yeah, that thing came after me, I'd be really, really scared. So, but this is another one of those cases, we all know this. This is one of those cases where the cover lies to you. Okay, as a matter of fact, this here on the back, this is the character. This is the monster. And the monster is called the Chooper. I'm not even making that up. The monster is called the Chooper. And literally what it is a guy dressed in like a black ninja costume. He's even got the hood with the eye holes and everything else. And he's going around with like a ninja sword and just goes around, like that. So, yeah. This movie is co-written and directed by Ray Dennis Steckler, and it stars Carolyn, Brandt, and Ray Murdoch. So yeah, the movie opens up. You got this character who he's basically kind of like the caretaker around the property and stuff. There's a house, there's the old shack, there's all this land around it, and basically his job is kind of keep the land clean and everything else. And stuff like that. But you find out really a lot of what he does, he's always like trying to keep people away from going into this shack, because he knows that like people who go into this broken down house shack and everything else, they end up dying a horrible death. And, there's like two little girls who you find out actually are Ray Dennis Steckler's real life daughters. They keep wanting to go in the house. And so he keeps chasing these little girls away and stuff like that. Then this one character, she comes up and she's with these two guys, and they pull up in their car, and she tells them she wants to go and spend the night in there. She doesn't think the place is haunted. They strongly disagree with her, and they throw her out her sleeping bag and they leave her there. So this guy, he goes and pushes her out of the house, tells her you need to get the hell out of here and all this stuff, and she's like, no, I want to stay here and everything. Ultimately, he lets her stay there because I guess he just figures she deserves to die or whatever else. And so she's there as night falls. You do get a couple of beautifully photographed scenes. One thing I will admit about Ray Dennis Steckler, the guy he is a good cameraman. He's a good cinematographer. And then, you're trying to build up the suspense, build up the tension and everything else. And then this character, the Chooper, appears and chases this girl through the house and pins her down and stabs her to death and stuff. So then the next morning, this character, I'm sorry, his name escapes me right now, but he goes in, finds her dead, and basically does like a Norman Bates. He cleans up all the evidence, he gets rid of the body, all this other kind of stuff, and just kind of makes out like, nothing ever happened. So then we're introduced to Carolyn Brandt's character, whose name is Carol, and she's a retired horror movie actress. And she's coming out to this place because she inherited it from her family. And she just wants to basically kind of live out her days, living a simple, quiet life. And so she goes out there to stay, and she meets the two little girls that, in real life, they're her daughters. And she bonds with them and everything else. And then Ray Murdoch's character, whose name is Tim, he shows up and he launches right into, he wants to buy the land from her, that, he thinks that the land belonged to him. It was his ancestors' land, and that they were cheated out of it. And the land should be his. So he's like constantly like trying to buy it back from her, and she doesn't want to sell it and everything else. And then like the mystery is unfolding, if you want to call it that, about what is the Chooper, who is the Chooper, what's going on here, why does this guy Tim want the land so bad, and everything else. You got other scenes where, like characters are coming up and going into this shack and everything, just, going in, looking in for whatever reason, they get killed and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, the movie, it's not very good. I mean, the storyline sounds really good. The storyline sounds fantastic, but just the execution is so poor. Some of the camera shots I said are really beautiful, but this is a movie that was done with no second takes. Um, there's hardly any recorded dialogue on this movie. There's very, very, very few snippets of scenes where you can see, like, you have characters speaking actual dialogue. A lot of the time, it's either music score or it's voiceover narration by Carolyn Brandt. And just, yeah, I mean, what sounds like could have been a good movie. This is like the complete opposite of Bubba Hotep, because like when somebody tells you the storyline of Bubba Hotep, without having seen the movie, you think to yourself, it sounds like the stupidest idea for a movie ever. It just sounds like such a dumb idea. But then you watch Bubba Hotep and it's amazing. It's a great movie. This is the exact opposite of that. It's like the story sounds like it would be really, really good, but just the execution of it is just so poor. I mean, this movie is this isn't, you find out too, this isn't even a low budget movie. This is a no budget movie. This, you could tell no money was put into this movie or anything. So you could tell this is just make a movie with what, little few things you have lying around. But I mean, I know I'm being hard on it, but just it's a slog to sit through. Originally the movie didn't even clock in at feature length. So what Ray Dennis Steckler ended up doing was he took, like Carolyn Brandt and his daughters and Ray Murdoch and the other actors and stuff, and he took them to the rodeo, and he actually shot like kind of like B footage, what's the word I'm looking for? Stock footage, B roll, just shooting, everybody at the rodeo and watching the rodeo, drinking sodas, things like that. And then he put that in there to stretch the movie out to a feature length running time. So that tells you right there. I mean, this movie is just kind of it really is tough to watch. But honestly, I would say though, if you ever come across this movie, buy it and watch the movie with Joe Bob Briggs commentary on it. Because Joe Bob Briggs makes this movie infinitely entertaining. Just as how, like, I'm sure we've all seen a movie or two that it's all like, you know what, I can't watch this movie by itself, but I could definitely watch it with Mystery Science Theater or Riff Tracks or something like that. So this is something like that. Don't. Oh yeah. I would definitely say if you get this, watch it for Joe Bob Briggs commentary. That's really the real gem of this whole DVD. So, but anyway, though, yeah, the movie's not good. I really can't recommend it by itself. No, but anyway, like I said, it's a good idea, just not handled very well. So anyway, that's really sad. But anyway, that's going to do it. If anybody took the time to watch this video, I thank you for doing it, and I appreciate you for doing it. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out all the other videos on the Body Bags channel. If you're new to it, there's 7 guys. We all do one video a day. I'm the Saturday reviewer. We all do great stuff. You got a lot of good guys on here doing great reviews. So please check it out. And yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. I'm Sinema77, horror and cult film lover, and I thank you again for watching, and take care. Have a good day.